everybody in Facebook world. This is Michelle with Wednesday Wisdoms with Michelle. I almost said Conversations with Michelle. That's what it's called on Friday on KCMJ 93.9. Anyways, our topic today is... Hi, Rich. Our topic today is ducks in a row. I keep hearing that term, and it worries me, actually. I've had 3 people tell me, I'm getting my ducks in a row. Well, do you understand that term, ducks in a row? Getting things in order, putting things in its place. I've met at least 2 people who have their ducks in a row for the next 2 to 3 years. Has anyone ever seen a real duck? They don't stay in rows very well unless they're following their mother. And they're never in the same order each time. They change places. That's where I got to with this talk today. Ducks in a row. It's good to know what your ducks are. Yes, she would say ducks up the wrong tree. Sorry, Shannon. But really, ducks in a row. If you have a plan and you've got things set up so rigidly, if one of those ducks falls out, if one of them fail, if one of them gets sick, or if something happens and that duck doesn't walk anymore, what are you going to do? Everything you do, you have to have an awareness of where all your ducks are. We're going to use ducks a lot in this analogy today. But you have to know what your ducks are and what they're doing and what you want to do with them. But you have to understand that they aren't necessarily going to line up the way you want them to. Especially when you have a 1 and 2 year plan out. You've got to be prepared for them to mess up. Ducks die. Dreams die. Goals fall off. Just be flexible. 2 things came to mind. For those of you who are technically minded or engineer minded, think about every building, every structure you see out in the world, a bridge, whatever. They are not made rigid. They are made to wiggle. It's called a variance. Whenever you make a plan, you've got to put a variance, and you've got to give wiggle room for yourself. You've got to give wiggle room for the chaos in the world that may change your plan. Now, the reason I'm saying that is because if it's rigid and one thing falls in your plan, everything cascades. And you do, I'm done. I give up. It didn't work. But if you understand that your ducks are there, but you can't quite control where they show up, sometimes they're just not that important. You'll find out as you're doing one thing that other one thing you had on your list isn't as important as you thought it was. Let it go. Keep going. In engineering, if they build a building, they say there's a building because of wind, a plus or minus variance of 7, which means they let the building do this. Have you ever seen a building and if you're on the top, you can feel it moving? It does that for a reason. It does it because it has to give and take to the wind. Think about life as wind moments. When you've got a plan, things may happen where it wiggles. It's okay. But if you have your plan so set in place that it doesn't wiggle, it could all fall down. It comes to that whole, there's a bridge in, anybody know the bridge? There's a bridge in Washington State that was built incorrectly, too rigid, and when the wind hit it, it was called Buckling Betty, I think they called it, but a bridge that just started doing this, and it fell apart. Don't be a Buckling Betty bridge. You want to be flexible. You want to be able to give and take. The other analogy I thought of for those of you who are military or police reinforcement, anything like, it's a term that says, no plan survives first contact. I like that. No plan survives first contact. Think of that. Whenever you go in with a plan, you've got to be prepared for the opposition to have something that hits you that you didn't predict. And you have to be ready to kind of sweat. No plan survives first contact. I like that. So remember, ducks don't always line up the same way. You may still have all the same ducks. They're not going to line up the same way. Be prepared for that. Be prepared that some of those things on your list don't have to stay. Yes, businesses wiggle all the time. And that's what I'm talking about. Be aware of your ducks, but be aware you've got to give and take depending on what the atmosphere of your business is doing, the atmosphere of your family. How about your car breaks down? Just normal life. Oh my goodness, thanks, Reg. See you later. Your car breaks down. You didn't predict your car was going to break down, so everything falls apart. No, wiggle room. Be prepared. Be prepared for things that may mess up your plan. What else? What else? What else? Keep fluid. Anything else you want me to say? Because that's what's in my head. Remember, no matter how many ducks you have listed that you have set in place for the next how many years, be prepared that there will be new things that come onto that list, other things that fall off that list. And if there are things on that list that you're like, I don't know if I really want to do this, try it first and realize and decide if you need to keep it on your list of priorities, because the things that you put attention to is what's going to grow. You know, that whole garden analogy, whatever you tend to is going to grow. And if you don't tend, you'll get all sorts of things growing up that you don't want, but will preoccupy your time. Be very selfish with your time, especially if you are a business owner. But if you're not a business owner and you're just living your life and trying to make your days happen and be happy with it, you need to manage your time. My 7 minutes is up. Remember, ducks in a row, don't put them in a row. Just be aware that you've got your ducks and be really happy to guide them to what you need them to do for you. Remember, all buildings are made with a variance. They need wiggle room, just like your life and business. Be prepared for things not to be what you expect them to be, and be okay with that. That's okay, Jennifer. It's always going to show up later. It plays over and over again. And I post every one of these Facebook Lives on my Facebook page, not my Facebook page, on my website every Wednesday. As soon as it uploads, I put it to my website, so it's always there. Hi, Lonnie. So www.michellemoross.com. You'll find every one of my old ones. And I don't plan on moving them to another site till mid-year, probably after I come back from India. Again, please please come visit me on Friday at 93.9 KCMJ. You can use the TuneIn Radio app, or listen to some of my old shows on SoundCloud and just look for 93.9 KCMJ. And my show is called Conversations with Michelle. It's every Friday at noon. SoundCloud, just always there. I hope you all join me next week, Wednesday at noon, and we'll have a fun topic to talk to then. And I am 1 minute and 30 seconds over my time. Have a fabulous week, and we will see you next week. Ta-ta. Make sure you like and share this thing, because apparently Facebook's algorithm wants you to share, or it'll drop me off the whole thing, and that's not going to be fun. Talk to you next week. Have a great week. Oh, have a wonderful Easter. Ta-ta.